Well, welcome, and here we are, week 7. You made it. I am so proud of you. But what I'm most excited about are the changes not just happening in your life, but in Central Community Church. We are going to use this series, and I'm going to refer to it many times from the pulpit as we continue to turn the corner and move down the road in becoming what God has called us to be as a church. Well, Jesus' final letter was to the church in Laodicea. Laodicea was the wealthiest of the 7 cities. It was known for its banking industry, its production of black wool, and a medical school that produced an eye salve. That's right. Laodicea was located on the bank of the river Lycus, which dried up every summer. To solve the city's water shortage, an aqueduct was built to bring water from the nearby city of Hierapolis, which was known for its hot springs. But by the time the water reached Laodicea, it was no longer hot. The water of Laodicea was lukewarm, and so were the hearts of the Laodicean church. Jesus writes, "I know all the things you do, that you are neither hot nor cold. I wish that you were one or the other. But since you are like lukewarm water, neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth." The hot springs of Hierapolis were famous for rejuvenating baths. Colossae's frigid mountain springs were known for refreshing the parched. But by the time the hot water of Hierapolis arrived in Laodicea, it was lukewarm and useless. The Laodicean church wasn't cold by rejecting Christ, and it wasn't hot with a burning passion for God. Instead, they were lukewarm hypocrites, full of pride, self-sufficiency, ignorance, and complacency. They claimed to be Christians. They knew of him, but they did not have a relationship with him. They didn't really know him. This lukewarm church made Jesus sick. Jesus criticized the church for being poor, blind, and naked. In doing so, Jesus is using the very industries that the city was proud of to shame the church. Laodicea had a thriving banking community, yet its church was spiritually bankrupt. The black wool of Laodicea was a hot commodity, but the church was spiritually naked. Laodicea produced medicine for the eyes, yet the church was blind to its own disgrace. But after his rebuke, Jesus invites them to rely on him to meet their needs. For their poverty, Jesus advises them to buy gold from him. Now, purified gold that is strengthened through the first of many trials, 1 Peter 1:7 says, "These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed to the whole world." For their nakedness, Jesus offers them garments of white to cover their shame. Revelation 19 verse 8 describes these garments as fine linen, dazzling white and clean. For the fine linen signifies the righteous acts of the saints, the ethical conduct, personal integrity, moral courage, and godly character of believers. And for their blindness, Jesus offers to fully restore their spiritual vision. In John 9 verses 6 through 7, Jesus restores a blind man's sight. Then he spit on the ground, made mud with the saliva, and spread the mud over the blind man's eyes. And he told them this, "Go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam." So the man went and washed and came back seeing. Sometimes to see clearly, we must humble ourselves and allow Jesus to replace our carnal vision with spiritual vision. So how do we protect ourselves against becoming a Laodicean church? Well, it takes a little self-inventory within our own hearts. And as a church, we need to ask Jesus to search our hearts and reveal any sin he finds lurking there. God will lovingly point out our indiscretions, and he will welcome us back with open arms when we realize our love for him has grown lukewarm. We must seek to renew our relationship with Him by confessing, repenting, worshiping, studying His Word, and serving. And if we desire a dynamic relationship, we need to continue to deepen our intimacy with Him. It is not enough just to know about God. We need to spend time in prayer and read the Bible with our spiritual ears tuned to receive fresh revelations from Him. In turn, we need to pour our hearts out to Him and share our thoughts, dreams, fears, and sorrows with Him. We need to set aside our selfish pursuits so we can seek Him with all of our heart, soul, and mind. It is so easy to become self-reliant and self-sufficient in our culture. And like Laodicea, our country is economically prosperous, and it's easy to take our blessings for granted. But we cannot become more dependent on our finances, resources, and power than we are on God. Our dependency on God keeps our passion for Jesus burning brightly, and it stokes the fires of our brothers and sisters. In biblical times, fire was precious. To have a fire go out on a cold night could be the difference between, well, life and death. And so coals were carried in a pottery vessel to restoke the flames of any fire that had grown cold. Think about Proverbs 25, verses 21 and 22. If your enemies are hungry, give them food to eat. If they are thirsty, give them water to drink. You will heap burning coals of shame on their heads, and the Lord will reward you. If you brought your enemy a live coal, you are bringing them life and warmth, and they will be ashamed that they had turned against you. Their hearts would be softened, and unity would be restored. Our burning love for Jesus is what will keep unity in this church. At Central Community Church, how can we keep from becoming a lukewarm congregation? And how can we each keep from becoming lukewarm Christians? Share with each other some of the temptations you face that weakens your faith, and share some ways that you have remained faithful and on fire for God. Let us come alongside one another to stoke each other's faith. May God bless your time together as you learn more about God's goodness and His work in our lives and the life of Central Community Church. God bless you.